Hey everybody, so we have finished our ASA 101 class down here at Lake Monroe. We have stopped at Oliver Winery outside of Bloomington for a quick glass of wine on our way home. So I just wanted to share a couple thoughts about what we've learned, maybe things that we would do differently, when learning how to sail and things like that. So why don't we start off with what are some things that you learned over this weekend?
Oh, the whole thing was really eye-opening. But one thing that to keep in mind is definitely keeping the communication open. Huge. That would be a really big crucial part of it.
Yeah, I mean, even our Captain Steve even said that a lot of times relationships go through a lot of struggle, like out when sailing, because there's so much communication that needs to be made. And I think that that's something that we need to improve upon. We were talking about that earlier. Something happens, like a big gust of wind happens when you're sailing, and you have to do something really quickly. You can't. You can't be shy, right? But you also can't be gruff. You can't be like, "Why did you do that? What are you doing?" Kind of thing. It's like maybe, especially starting out for us, this is our, we just did 2 days of sailing, and
right. So we're on the same educational level. We have the same knowledge level when it comes to sailing. So nobody needs to, pointing fingers and have to keep everything defused.
Yeah, and just be like, hey, maybe you should do this. Instead, oh, we need to go this way. Let's go this way. Or, I told him a couple times, watch out. So I was trying to get over to him, or I was trying to, I was steering the Tigger, the tiller, the helm, the stick, the boat. And he was in the way. It's like his knee was in. It's like, hey, watch your knee, kind of thing. Things like that, simple stuff. Nothing aggressive, but I think communication skills, you will improve them. Even if you don't want to become a certified sailor, if you want to improve your communication skills, go out on the lake and learn how to sail. I think that's critical.
Everything will come to a head really quickly.
Yeah, for sure. What's number 2? Just all the terminology of hey, tacking, jibing, caught in the irons, or man overboard, things like that, or heavy breach, or turning into the wind, no-goes, all these things that you can read a textbook and learn about it, but once you're out in the boat and actually experience it, was really eye-opening. And for me, having someone kind of guide us through the steps, almost in a curriculum kind of fashion. Steve really took us through hey, you're gonna need to know knots, just basically rope knots. I think they're called lines, on a boat, but on how to do rope knots so you can, tie things to the boat in a way that you can loosen them up when needed. That's a critical life skill. And I think just the basics of boating, this is our step 1 of, this is our 5-year goal, 5-year dream, and we both feel excited. We can't wait to get back in the water. We can't wait to get back in the sailboat. So I think that's a good sign, right? But I think that's I think partnering with the school, instead of just hiring a captain and having him sail you around a bay or something, I mean, that'd be fine. But partnering with an actual sailing association that takes you through the terminology. I mean, sometimes it's going to be kind of okay, for this, have to go by these rules and guidelines. But those guidelines are there for a reason. And they'll kind of take you through all those. Or anything you would have done differently?
Done differently? No, not at all. the whole thing was just a very eye-opening experience. I was, like I told you earlier, I've been on board since, since we first brought the topic up, but now this has just kind of made it, turned it into real life. Like, oh my gosh, this is how it's really going to be in 5 years.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think overall, we learned a lot. Big takeaways were that communication's key, that we learned a lot about ourselves, about communication and how we interact with one another. We kind of debriefed quite a bit, like after every day, just, relaxed, had a beer, and just kind of talked about the day. And I think it's important to do that, to have that time to be like, let's discuss, what happens, throughout the day. Good and the bad, right? And then, no takeaway, definitely partner with some sort of sailing school, because they know what they're doing. Their instructors are certified. They know how to kind of take you through all those steps. And they know what to do, if something goes wrong. Saturday was a really windy day, and I think without an experienced captain, we would not have done well. I mean, we would have been fine. We would have just curled up the sails and used our motor or something. But with the experienced captain, like, he was able to show us some techniques that, at one point, like, he was scared. He's like, let's try this, and it did not go well. So we had to, kind of do the, kind of make up stuff as we went along. But I think overall, it was a great experience. Can't wait to get back in the water. And then we have friends who, are near the lake, and we're like, all right, what's the quickest way to get back on the water? In a sailboat. Oh, that's a little puffball. But anyway, so I just wanted to do a quick video post ASA 101. So thanks guys for following us on this journey. This first step. And so have a good day.